We've got diesel on the Mini Merlot. Just going to back out the shed now. A little tight gap, that's what it's really handy for. You can see where you're going. See the back wheels and all the wheels really. Everything's part of the shed. I'm going to go and move the bucket brush out the way, not the bucket brush, sorry, the bristle brush. Then back the combine out, put that into where the dryer bay is, the dryer intake bay. Then put the header where the combine was, because Bill's going to bring some wheat up today, so we can push it up in the shed with a bit more room. This is just a bristle brush, if you're watching Tom. So this does like a broom. Bucket brush sweeps it up. This pushes it to where you want it to go. Big chipper shifting with a little Merlot. Just trying to get it over a bit to give us some more room in the yard. Knows it's got it on. Does anyone know where I can get, or has anyone got one lying around? Well, not one of them hitches actually, sorry. One of them hitches that'll slide in the rails on the back of a fence or the back of a fast track. And then when we ever need to move the chipper far, we can use it on the tractor rather than on the pickle pitch, because it tries to pick the tractor up when it's on the pickle pitch. It's like a European hitch. I think I'll move it on the front and I can see where I'm backing it to. Sam blew it all down the other day and cleaned off all the back of it, so it's all nice and shiny, but kind of needs the inside doing. The back looks great, but the inside's muddy. Well, dusty. But we have still got the sunflowers to cut. It's dead easy moving it with the front, because you can just see the back and the front of the header all at the same time, rather than having to look behind your shoulder backing it in. Window needs cleaning, doesn't it? Here we got screen wash, that makes a change. Just gone as far as I can to the skip. Now diagonal across the yard. Hopefully I can just get enough lock on with the rear steer to get it in that bay where I've just took the combine out of. Yeah, it's going. It's dead easy on the Merlot because it's 4-wheel steer. It's just swing the drawbar around and the axles, shove it in. Right on that drying floor, and then that's nice and toasty out the way. Here with the first load of wheat to go in the shed. I think there's 30 coming over the next, well, either today or today and tomorrow. Got a freshly sanitised new bucket of churry products, or cherry to most people. Got to shove up Bill's wheat now, keep pushing it up in this corner as it arrives. Loading Simon with chip now with the old bucket, and I'm in a Merlot and a few lights on. Well, that 9.3 line looks a beast in the green, the darker green, if you can see it. Andrew's got the low loader on the fast track. He's filling up with diesel and AdBlue because he's off to pick up his new 4955, so hopefully that'll be back later today. That's a fine loaded chip going out, if I do say so myself, expertly loaded. This mesh has all got munched where people couple up wrong and hit it with the Merlot headstock. So when you're inside, like hooks in your boots, it's horrible. So I'm going to put a flat bar across the bottom and hold it back on the churry picker basket. Come to get me mole grips, self grips out the toolbox, and there's only one pair left that isn't even out of that set, and that set of 4 is disappeared, and then 2 have disappeared. Just welding this flat bar across here, and I've got the porter press, so it's like a 10-ton hydraulic ram that you jack out, it along now and press it there and squash it in. It's used for all sorts of things. I think I originally got it for straightening rally cars after they hit tree stumps. If you look, you just jack it now, just pump it up and down, and then push pushes that ram out, which is squeezing that tight. And then I'll weld it in. It's getting there now. Just going to go and brush the road though, because the digging spuds up the road and making a mess, and then I'll come back and finish it off. This is driven by that hydraulic motor. Like, barely cuts in at all. I've got a nice level bucket full of wheat, and I'm going to see how much this bucket holds. You can get a little bit more maybe in that corner, but let's just see. So I weighed, look at the dust, 9,320, and I now weigh 11,640. So that's 660. So is that 2.3-ish tons? I just got one of these pedestals down, and I got one with the adapter on, because I was going to get one of them tubes from up there. Then I realised there's two tubes sat there waiting. So now I'm going to put this one back up and get one of them ones that's not got a tube on. Got the pusher on. I'm going to try and push the wheat up a little bit so that we can get the pedestal a bit closer to the electric plug in the roof, because where it's sat now isn't underneath the plug. If you look, there's too much reflection. There it is. Up there. That should be close enough to the plug now. It did just fall over, but it's alright, it'll live. Joe's on Big Blue. The 315, is it? Makes the trailer look small anyway. He's going to tip a load of wheat now, stop that falling over forwards. See if he can open the back door without hitting the pedestal. Nope, going to get further over. Let's go that way. So that way. He's going this way. Lost in translation. On the tyres then, aren't they? The 900s. Right, you should be able to open the back door now without it hitting the pedestal. There we go, it's swallowing it now, so it won't fall over now. It's got something on its face, like tree roots. It's 20 to 4 now. I'm just about to go and look at working some ground after the potatoes to see if I can level it out. Now it's been had a couple of days drying. Just checked the satellite picture before I went, and this is what it is. So in about 20 minutes it's going to rain, so I'm not going to go and do it, but I am going to go and check the field, then I'll know how dry it gets after 2 days dry weather. Pushing up in the shed now as Bill and Joe and Gordon keep bringing stuff in. Anyway, I've got as high as I can with the bucket, so I'm just doing a bit now with the grain pusher. Just a little one, the big one's over there. For some reason I've put it on here. I'm in the wrong gear. Dropped it off by mistake. Doesn't fit properly. This is off a JCB. So we just like let it glide up the heap. Sorry, I missed filming of it. Push it up there. Really helps though, because you can get, I think originally we used to put it about 3 metres deep, whereas now in this shed the walling's 4 metres. You can get it right up to 4. It means you get like 25% more in the shed. Andrew's just rung, he's loaded up the tractor, so it's now I think 3:45, so I reckon he'll be back around 8ish. So might do a live video because you've probably watched this already. On the 936, got this sub. The noise quality was really bad, but basically I've got the soft link set really short on the sumo, so that the rear roller and the discs aren't doing anything, and just the legs are doing something, and I'm just ripping the ground up now so that it gets rid of the water in the wheel marks. So that's what it's like in the corners, and that's where I've come through. So the water's now starting to soak away, but it'll never soak away till March probably if it's left like that. We've got to rip through and bust that pan in the top surface. Definitely need some screen wash. I pretty much managed to do all the headland of this field, which is all the bits that fly in water. So hopefully that should start to soak away now. It's just this last little bit here to do. So I'll do that and then we'll leave it, and then hopefully by sort of Tuesday, Wednesday it might be dry enough to do something with and maybe drill. What I really need for jobs like this is a quad track, because it just goes straight over the top, no compaction, just pull this sumo through. That's if you can mount something this heavy on the back of a quad track, because they are just designed to pull a thing. I don't know whether they're designed to lift things, because someone might know that. My mum has informed me, because I'd forgotten, but it's actually my Uncle Keith's birthday. It was my Uncle Keith doing the RAC rally in 1995 with my other uncle, Uncle John. So that's 36 years ago. I remember being a kid going to watch them. So I thought I'd come and have a look what my rally car looks like. It's a Peugeot 205 1.4, and it's been in this shed for a long time and gathered a lot of dust. And that is a 106 GTI shell with no sunroof, which is rare. And I should dig it out really, shouldn't I? I don't think it's, well, we've got to move the yard to get it out because the yard's been built up by it. But I don't know, it must have been in this shed now for at least 10 years, last time it was used. So if you know anyone that wants a 205 shell, there's a 205 shell as well, if anyone's munched one. People only use them for rallying now. Random fact, my mum reckons that when it's my uncle's birthday, it's time to stop cutting the lawn because the grass doesn't grow after the weekend of his birthday. So maybe we'll cut it tomorrow and then that'll be it then. It's Adam going past. I could hear him coming while I was stood by this. This is obviously the little crop master. It's got a radiator leak, so we put some rad seal in. So my dad wants to get it warm so that the rad seal will start working, but he needs a thermostat, so he's took it apart to put the thermostat on. Loads of people have said that the quad track is definitely cool, and if anything, probably sub-zero, but we'll call it cool. But someone said, why don't you ask people what's seriously uncool? So has anyone got any suggestions of tracks that are seriously uncool? If you have, let me know below. And don't just wind your mates up. Just, if seriously, there's got to be a reason why it's uncool. No, actually, it would be quite funny if you wind your mates up. Yesterday's quiz question was what we call a podge bar with a heel end on it. So some people call it a heel bar, but yeah, you use it for lining bolts up and getting bearings off, because you can kind of get it behind the back and hit it. Not only was it my Uncle Keith's birthday, it was also Neil Wellburn's, Philip Priest and Chris Willis's birthday, so happy birthday to you too. If you want to watch another video, it's over there. If you want to subscribe, it's over here. And there's a great outro that someone sent on Farm Sim. So I'll see you tomorrow.